What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 53. Man, I'm back again. I got two things to address first before we get into it. People get in the comments asking me about whoever this little boy, Lil Durk is. I don't know him. But now I've learned over the last few days he one of them little rappers. Whoop-de-doo. I don't know where he from. I don't some about some murder for hire or whatever. I don't know. It's been on there. But asking me to comment on it. Nah, I'm not finna comment on it. Y'all know I don't do a whole lot of reactions first off. Every now and then I will. But that right there, I'm not finna do a reaction or comment on it because I don't know nothing about it. I would have to sit down and literally go through checking history and finding out about who shot who. And the bottom line is I don't care. I don't know no Lil Durk. Don't know nothing about no Lil Durk and don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? So no, so stop asking me about it. I don't know what the little boy did or didn't do or who it's supposed to got done to, and I could care less. Point blank. Now, on the other things, so people would ask me in the comments about stuff being part one, part two. I'm going to go ahead and let you know right now that from this point forward, the majority of my videos are going to be part one, part two, but they going to be right there behind each other. It's not like you get part one Monday and you got to wait till Wednesday to get part two. If you wait 20, 30 minutes, part two is coming right behind it. And if I can get it out, if I can get part two out to you quicker, you will get it because they're filmed at the same time. It's just the process of downloading them and uploading them, editing them and uploading them to YouTube might take a few minutes. But they right there. It should not be a problem. Toon, why you get part one, part two? Man, miss me with that bull, man. If you, and then you got some people that, well, they figured, well, Toon gonna put the part one, part two. They'll look at how long the first video is, and they'll like part one, part two. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna skip the part two. That's the good stuff. You can do that if you want to, but I guarantee that you will miss certain stuff that's going on in part two if you don't listen to the whole thing. The whole thing is one story. It's just cut in half. Point blank. So, you know, it is what it is, was what it was. It's going to be what it's going to be or see. If y'all rocking with me the way y'all been professing to rock with me, then it shouldn't be no complaints. Check out part one, then wait a few minutes. It's right there. Then just check out part two. It ain't no thing. Dang. Anyway, now moving right along past all that. Man, this one right here, woo. This right here is why I say I try to stay out people's business. This is why I try to stay out of people's business. But now, you know, I told y'all in a video before, I had a problem. When I was younger, I had a problem with dudes that jumped on women. You know, that jumped and beat up women. You know, this wasn't my thing, man. Jumping in, because I noticed over the years, you know, I'm going to say 7 times out of 10, you know, dudes that, you know, pop on women ain't going to pop on a man. You know what I'm saying? So I had a big issue with that one. I had an issue with that. And a few times, a couple of times, I done kind of put myself in the trick bag about a dude whooping his girl or whatever, and me playing Captain Saberholt, getting in they mix. This what happened to me somewhat on this one right here. You got to hear the whole thing to find out what happened. Because, man, sometimes you can put your foot in something that you can't pull your foot up out of, man. Sometimes you'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Ooh-wee. And I was in prison in Alabama. I was in a prison called Easterland. Now, this was a prison that everybody in the state of Alabama hated to go to. Anybody that went to this prison before, I'm going to say, anybody that went to this prison before, I'm going to say about 2013, oh, it was horrible, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s. This prison was considered a punishment prison. This is where they sent you to punish you because security was so tight. There wasn't no cell phones in this prison. Wasn't no dope or drugs in this prison. Wasn't no cigarettes in this prison. This prison was strictly punishment. Now, I ain't never smoked anyway. I'm glad they didn't sell cigarettes. I hate them. But now, with that cell phone situation, boom. Now, like I say, you know, in my other stories, y'all know I got shipped to this prison in 2010 from a maximum security prison because I got into it with an officer trying to talk to my wife on the visiting yard. Not my current wife, but a prior wife. Trying to talk to my wife on the visiting yard. And I got at him and he had me transferred to this prison for punishment purposes, you know. I'm not going to lie, man. Ooh-wee. When I first got there, I was in the twilight zone. Man, I literally walked around the first few days just with my head up in the air, just like, you know, like, man, ain't no cell phones? Ain't what? Man, wasn't no poker being played. It wasn't nothing going on. Wasn't nothing going on. I can honestly say, if it wasn't for my little partner that's out here with me now, y'all heard me talk about my little partner, Demon Loke, out of Detroit. He the one was filming when I did the hot chip challenge. That was my little dog. When I got to the prison, he was there. And that's kind of what saved me, because with him being there, all right, this was my little dog from years and years prior. He had went home and came back. I didn't even know he was there. Dang. So anyway, me and him kind of kicked it in. He was only there with me for about three or 4 weeks, and he ended up getting transferred out. Anyway, I get on what they call the Lawnmower Squad. Now, the reason why I got on this Lawnmower Squad is because they said, man, you go out there, man, you get on the squad, man, you work, you do this, you do that. You get a parole cut, or when you get ready to go up for parole, man, they gonna look at you favorably because you working outside the gate. Now, this lawnmower crew wasn't a typical lawnmower crew that only cuts the grass inside the prison. No, I was on the outside crew. I was on the crew because my custody had dropped. I was on the crew that went literally outside the prison. We cut grass all around the prison. We cut all the grass on the prison ground, and we cut grass up and down the highway, way, way far away from the prison too. You know what I'm saying? It was about nine. I say it was about a good 9 of us. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. This was the crew. This the crew I was on when I told you about the white boy had his people bring some cigarettes in, because now in this prison, cigarettes sold more than weed. Cigarettes sold more than any drug. You know what I'm saying? Nicotine. Nicotine is a very, very powerful drug. Very, very powerful drug, man. Anyway, and so they knew, the police had knew, and we was out there cutting, and the white boy ducked off, and because it ain't number one police out there with us. He can't watch all of us. That's why you have to have a certain type custody to even get out there. He figured ain't nobody running off. So the white boy, he dipped off into the bushes, thought he was gonna get the cigarettes, and the police was in there with them ghillie suits on, with them camouflage suits on, and jumped out on him like Swamp Thing. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that's the name of that video. If you go back and find it, the day, I think it says the day the white dude got attacked by the Swamp Thing, something like that. But anyway, we out here now. We would spend a lot of time cutting the grass around the prison, but now it's a store. It's a store down street. that we would cut grass all the way to the store. And when we get to the store, depending on what police officer we was out there with, he would all let us get a little something and go and get you a bag of chips and a soda or something. Wasn't coming out of his pocket, the prison money. And sometimes we would rest. We would cut all the way down there, get us something to drink, something to eat. And we would sit there for a few minutes, about 20, 30 minutes, and just chill out, kick it, rest, and then come on back. Check on back into prison. Man, listen, I hated it. I liked it getting outside the prison, but this was during the summertime. And I'm a free sweater. Man, when I tell you, when I would come back in, my socks would be sopping wet. Because you got to strip down when you come in. You got to strip all the way butt naked to get strip search coming in. Because you coming in from the free world. They don't know what you done found out there. Because we would find some of everything. Man, we would find so much stuff. A lot of time, people driving past us would sling weed out the window and all type of stuff. Phones and, everything. So they had to search us real good coming back in. Man, you talk about sopping soaking wet. Boom. So now on this day right here that I'm telling you about, typical day, we out cutting. And we knew we was going to the store. We was going down to the store. We knew we was going down to the store. All right, so cool. We out and about cutting. Man. We out and about cutting. We doing our thing. By this time, I'm already sweating. Check in part 2. Gonna get to the meat of it on this one, boy.